Hey, what's up you guys? Well, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nicole. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, please make sure to subscribe if you like my videos. Today's video is going to be a Reddit story. There's a few ideas that I had for this week's video, but I really liked this story a lot, and so I thought that I would read it. So this one is about a carnival. I hear this lame-ass town is getting a carnival. I fought the urge to roll my eyes. If you think this town is so lame, why haven't you moved away? I countered. Adam snorted. Same reason as you, killer. God damn it, Adam. I told you I hate that nickname. I swore angry that he had called me that despite knowing I hated it. Call me Killian, Killy even, but never friggin' call me Killer again. Chill, babe, he said, giving me that trademark 1,000-watt smile. You know I didn't mean anything by it. I ignored his apology. When is this carnival supposed to be here? October 24th, he replied, a week from today. My brow furrowed. That's the night of the blood moon. Ooh, spooky, Adam teased, wagging his fingers at me and grinning. Remind me again why I'm dating you, I said. Adam just laughed at me, though, hopping down from the railing on the porch to squeeze in beside me on the papasan chair. Because I'm irresistible, he muttered, hugging me. So, the carnival. Do you want to go? Let me think about it, I murmured, uneasy about it for some reason. I'd never admitted to Adam, but this carnival coming on the blood moon scared me, and I didn't know why. It was just a carnival, right? What difference did it make what day it opened on? Friday morning, it rolled into town, and everyone stopped to watch the procession of vehicles and equipment drive past to the field on the outskirts of town. Everything was black. The vehicles had blacked out windows so you couldn't even see in. Whatever rides they may have brought with them was hidden under black tarps of the flatbeds of semis. My apprehension grew, and I turned to my mother in unease. Mom, has anything like this happened here before? Mom just looked as worried as I did. No, Killian, it hasn't, she replied, watching the line of black roll down our street. Adam showed up at 6 that evening, grinning like a loon. Hey babe, let's go get some dinner, he suggested. Carnival doesn't open the gates until 9 tonight anyhow, so we have plenty of time. Adam, did you see it roll in? I asked. Hell yeah, he replied, grinning. That shit was cool. If that doesn't shake this dead town up, I don't know what will. Grudgingly and against my better judgment, I agreed to have dinner with him and then go to the carnival. I took my sweet time getting ready, though, trying to prolong it as long as I could, and hopefully calming my jingling nerves. What I wouldn't give for a joint right about now, I muttered, pulling my hair back into a ponytail. We went to the Italian place Adam likes so much, and I had 2 glasses of wine, hoping to calm my nerves, but it was no use. I really was not looking forward to seeing what had been hiding on those trucks. At 8:50, we left the restaurant and headed across town to the carnival. The first look I had at it did not help my nerves. The tents were striped in black and purple, black and red, black and dark green, and black and dark blue. The entrance was something like out of a horror movie. Rows of sharp teeth attached to the jaws of some distorted, blackened beast with orange eyes that lit up. What rides I could see looked nothing like I've ever seen before in my entire life. They were gleaming black under the light of the moon, crouching silently in wait for the first victims to board them. Okay, so maybe my imagination was running a bit too wild with me, but I did not like the looks of this thing. Welcome, a smoky voice called out, and a tall, thin, black-haired woman stepped out of the mouth of that creature. Welcome to Carnival Nocturne. I am Madame Sinestri. Admission is a flat rate of $10, and all the rides and shows are free. We'll run until the first light of the sun begins to rise, and then we will move on. So please, make sure you enjoy yourselves this night. Now that's a deal, someone behind us stated, and the crowd began to surge forth to the entrance, carrying Adam and me with it. Once we were through the mouth, I shivered and looked around. So much black, I echoed, swallowing hard. Too much black. What the hell is this place? Where did they come from? The rides were nothing like I'd ever seen before, with names like Black Widow, the Ferryman, the Abyss, Venom, and Inferno. Black Widow was a ride that had a huge Black Widow spider atop a blackened pole, and each of her 8 legs held cables down to cars on blackened metal arms. When the first passengers boarded and the ride started up, I knew there was no frickin' way Adam was getting me on that thing. It made the Scrambler look tame. The way it hurled those cars around, and as the speed increased, those cables drew the arms up, up, up in the air until people were being tossed and turned in all directions. It's a good 50 feet off the ground. The Abyss looked like a haunted mansion with little black cars that went in one door and reappeared a good 10 minutes later out another. I wasn't sure about that one either, as the riders looked genuinely shaken up when they got off that ride. Venom was a roller coaster, and I questioned how the hell they even got that thing up in such a short amount of time. It was a steel coaster, not a wooden track, and it would have rivaled anything a large amusement park had to offer. The first stop was quite literally straight down, and it had 3 loops and 6 corkscrews on top of a second drop midway through the ride. Inferno was a looping track ride where the riders were strapped down tightly and the car rocked back and forth until it began spinning completely around the track, while flames shot up beside it. The Ferryman was a boat ride, and each boat had a black shrouded figure that held a lantern in the front. The water looked black to me, but of all the rides I'd seen, this one seemed the safest. Adam and I boarded a boat, and we were swept past the tattered black cloth and into the ride itself. That moment we were inside the ride, I'd realized I'd made a horrible mistake. "Oh my God," I muttered, horrified. On the banks of either side of us, the landscape stretched as far as we could see. It was dismal, with skeletons littering the ground and half-decayed bodies. It looked and smelled so real to me, and I gave Adam a wide-eyed look. "Relax, babe," he muttered, smiling. "You know it's not real." "Help us. Oh God, help us." We both started as a group of half-naked, badly burned and beaten people rushed to the banks, begging and pleading for us to stop, letting them board the boat and get them out of there. "What the hell?" Adam muttered, staring at them. "I don't like this," I breathed, burrowing into his side. "I don't think this is fake, Adam." We swept through a curtain and the river changed to red with flames dancing on the surface. They were real flames. Adam burned his fingers when he tested them. "What the heck is this?" he questioned, looking at me in confusion. "I don't know, but I think we need to get the heck out of here and try calling the police," I told him. When we emerged back to the night air and got out of the boat, Madame Sinestri was standing there holding 2 drinks with a smile. "Here, you 2, she purred, handing them to us. "You look a bit shaken. I don't usually hand out my private stock of wine, but you look like you could use it." We had no choice but to drink some, since she was standing there just staring at us both. The wine, if that's actually what it was mildly sweet and heavily spiced. It was also so dark red, it was black. "This is nice," Adam remarked, and took a larger sip. "I don't suppose you'd share the label, would you?" Madame Sinestri chuckled, smiling. "Young man, I appreciate the compliment. You see, I made that wine myself about 10 years ago, with muscadine grapes, cloves, and cinnamon. I might be persuaded to part with a bottle before you leave, however." She seemed genuine, and the wine was good, so I relaxed. Maybe what I'd seen had been really good actors. As to the flaming water, there were certain chemicals you could float on water that didn't burn hot enough to actually harm anything, though it would still burn your fingers. "Thank you," I expressed, offering a shy smile. "You youngsters go enjoy yourselves," she said, waving us off. Adam and I walked the grounds while we finished off the wine, and by the time I was gone, I felt much calmer. "Let's ride the coaster," Adam suggested. "It looks pretty gnarly." "Sure," I agreed, and we got in line. We wound up in the first car, as luck would have it, so we'd have great views of that first sheer drop. I was grateful for the wine, and I had a mild fear of heights, and this was definitely going to set it off. The car was pulled smoothly up the hill, much more smoothly than any other coaster I'd been on. My eyes went to the front of the car as we ascended. examining the head of the snake. "Black mamba," I murmured, my left hand reaching to touch it. It was warm to the touch and felt like a real snake. Those black eyes glittered faintly in the moonlight, and a tiny drop of liquid appeared at the end of one fang. I drew my hand back, blinking. Had it not been for the wine, I'd have had a screaming fit right then and there for them to get me the heck off that ride. But the wine made me feel all fuzzy, so I just sat there and tried to process what I'd seen and felt. Then we were over the top and hurtling down the hill. The snake began to move, neatly turning its head to slither between Adam and I, back to the other passengers. I could hear sounds from behind us, but everything seemed distorted somehow, so I couldn't quite make out what I was hearing. When the ride was over, the attendant patted the snake head and helped us out of the car and along the walkway, all the way to the grass. "You kids have fun," he expressed, smiling as he turned to go back to the ride to the other passengers. "Did that snake come to life?" Adam asked, unsure. I don't know, I replied, just as perplexed as he was over what we'd seen. We rode Black Widow next. The spider's fangs glistened in the light, and she seemed to dip down to certain cars as they hurtled past her. Our car, of course, was skipped. On Inferno, we rode in the front car and watched flames explode all around us, close enough to feel the heat from them. Dimly, I heard screaming, but in my drug state, I was able to equate it to passengers enjoying the ride. I could smell something burning, but I couldn't quite place what it was. There were 2 rides we hadn't been on yet, and one of them I hadn't seen until we'd walked around the grounds. Equus Mortem was an immense, blackened carousel at the very back of the carnival itself, half hidden behind the abyss. The horses were in various stages of decay, with some in a skeletal form completely. But there was one horse that stood out to me, and I knew I was getting on it before we left. It was massive, towering over the others and half-rotting. It was the only horse in the entire carousel that was pitch black. Adam and I boarded the abyss, and the glossy black car guided us smoothly beyond the black door. Instantly, we were plunged into a place so dark that there was no light at all. Not even from the car or gaps in the building. There was no sound either, though, disorienting us both. We couldn't even tell if we were still in that car. It was surreal. "What is this?" Adam asked, sounding afraid. "It's the abyss, Adam," I heard myself answer calmly. "The place where you have to face your fears and hope you come out on the other side alive." "Killian, this isn't funny," he yelled. "It isn't meant to be," I returned evenly. "How strong are you really, Adam? You wanted to come here so bad. This is what you get." Unimaginable horrors came to life and flew at Adam, who screamed and screamed beside me in the seat. The corpse of his long-dead father came to tell him what a baby he'd become and how worthless he was. His best friend showed up next. Nick had died in a car wreck that had been Adam's fault. They'd been drinking, and Adam lost control. Adam had lived, but Nick had not. "You son of a bitch," Nick screamed, his bloody, mutilated form inches from Adam. "I trusted you, man. You said you were good, that you'd get us home safe. You lied to me." "I didn't mean to," Adam screamed back. "God damn it, Nick, you were like a brother to me. Do you think that didn't eat at me that I lived?" Nick's ruined face contorted, dropping blood and pus onto Adam. "You killed me, Adam. You knew you were too drunk to drive. Look at me, goddammit. Look at me. Look what you did to me." When Adam refused to look, Nick grabbed him by the throat and began choking him. "Frickin' won't look at me, huh? You frickin' baby. I'll show you what happens to babies like you." I was alone when the car emerged from the ride. "Come, dear," Madame Sinestri murmured, taking my arm and leading me to the carousel to the enormous, rotting black horse. "Ride and forget, Killian." I mounted that monstrosity, my hands resting on his neck and feeling how ice-cold he was. The carousel began to move, slowly at first, but then gaining momentum. As I spun around, the horse moved away from his place on the floor and began walking backward with me. With each revolution, he took me through a ride I'd been on, and the memory was erased. Back, back, back he took me until I found myself standing outside the entrance once more. Killian! Oh my God, Killian! I opened my eyes and instantly my head began throbbing. Wincing at the pain in my skull, I tried to sit up. Honey, just lie still. An EMT told me, we need to get you to the hospital to make sure you're all right. Hospital? I echoed, confused. Where? What? Mom came into my line of sight, tears pouring down her face. Oh God, I thought I'd lost you. She sobbed, her hand on my face. What happened? I asked, blinking away the blurriness. My first look at my surroundings yanked me brutally out of my stupor. Carnage as far as the eye could see. Bloody, mutilated bodies scattered across the field. Some had been burned so badly, I almost didn't recognize them as human. The smell of blood and thicker things hung heavy in the air, making me gag. Adam? I said. My mom shook her head, dissolving into racking sobs. I'm so sorry, Killian. She got out, stroking my face. I'm so sorry. God, why did I let you two go to this evil place? I learned at the hospital what happened. Everyone except for me had been killed at the carnival last night, either on the rides or inside the tents. Everyone who passed through that gaping maw of an entrance was dead, including my boyfriend Adam. The killings had numbered into the hundreds, all told, and when everyone had been killed, the carnival had vanished into thin air. It took me 6 months of therapy to get over Adam's death and the horror I'd woken up to in that field. Carnival Nocturne was never seen again, and for that, I was grateful. I didn't understand what it really was, or why it had wiped out over half of our town, but it needed to stay gone. Sometimes, though, I would dream of an immense, rotting black horse that moved backward. I wasn't afraid of him. In my heart, I knew that one day I'd see him again, and Adam would be waiting. So, I really like carnivals, and I thought that this was a really fun story. I love how immersive it was, and I really, really liked how in detail and how well they depicted everything, and so I really wanted to share that with you guys. I will also link the link to this story in the description, but if you guys are into scary stories like I am, I know you probably loved it. Again, thank you so much for watching. Pretty please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Head over to my featured channels and make sure to follow all of them. You can follow a bunch of 50,000, Rick Alvarado, and Emmanuel Talks. I'm really, really close to my 300 subscriber milestone goal. I'm about 2 subscribers away right now, so if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, and I will love you so, so much, and I'll be very, very appreciative. I hope you guys have an amazing day. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.